Welcome to NKTelco Sports. We're here at Northmont High School, where the New Bremen Cardinals will take on the Jackson Center Tigers. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Minster Bank, Schwederman Pharmacy, Keyhole Pizza, New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Hometown Opportunity, Francis Furniture, Wilson Health, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, NKTelco, NKT.TV, BowlerStore.com, CarriageWorks, Cy Schwederman, Fowler's TV, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, PSG Automotive Outfitters, and the First National Bank. Welcome inside the Thunderdome here at Northmont High School. Regional semifinals volleyball action sees a 24-3 defending state champions in the New Bremen Cardinals take on Jackson Center. New Bremen at 22-4, Jackson Center at 24-3. And a battle that has taken place the last 3 years, twice in the regional semis. It has been New Bremen who has gotten to that point. A couple of state titles on Jackson Center side, though, and a very good matchup on tap between two coaches with state championship resumes. For New Bremen, it's all about their new team and their same dream. The motto on the back of their shirts, they want to get back to Dayton next week. They beat Fort Loramie to get here in 3 sets. Jackson Center beat Russia in 4 sets for their 16th straight win. Teams played earlier on in the year. New Bremen won 3-1, but that was back in September. This is November volleyball, and it is coming your way next when we return here on NKTelco.
The big game is right around the corner. Are you ready for it? Come into Francis Furniture and find the right fit for you and your friends in our Lazy Boy Comfort Studio. With Lazy Boy Premier sofa and sectionals, you can custom order a look that's just your style. Choose from hundreds of decorator fabrics or choose genuine leather for its luxurious feel and durability. Come into Francis Furniture today, the area's only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Back inside the Thunderdome as we hear the announcements for the New Bremen Cardinals and the Jackson Center Tigers. We take a look at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for today. And you look at the visitors in the New Bremen Cardinals. Big thing about what they want to do is it's a very tired team for Jackson Center. They had a couple of battles the last couple of games just to get here. And if you're going to look at that, you're going to say we're going to face a very tired team, make them work for their points and space the floor. There are a lot of big hitters for New Bremen, and they can come at you in a multitude of ways. But if you're able to move the pieces around on the defensive side, you can do a lot of good things if you're the defending state champs. And on the other side, the keys to the game for Jackson Center, figure out the hitters. Again, it's kind of the same point. A lot of kills come from a lot of different young ladies for this New Bremen team. And your return game has got to be on point because this is also a team in the service game that has pulled down a ton of aces this year. Just coming in, Rachel Kramer and Macy Putoff combine for nearly 75 aces. Those two young ladies just named as first and second team All-Ohio. Macy at first, Rachel second. And those are Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. If you're New Bremen, just continue to run your system. You've done such a terrific job this year And even in the losses, 4 of them, 3 of those came in the MAC, where you look at a state championship caliber team and you say, well, 3 losses in your own conference, you finished in 3rd or 4th place, but they don't know that at one point, the top 4 teams in the state of Ohio in Division IV all resided in MAC country. They all beat each other throughout the course of the year. Again, it was a win over Fort Loramie for New Bremen to get here, but their first round was a huge battle. They end up beating St. Henry in the sectionals 3-2. They actually rallied to win the last 3 sets. They were down 2-0, had a long 5th set where they won 15-13. And to get to that point, you've got to be very good and at times very lucky with how the ball will land. Jackson Center has won 70 of their 93 sets this year. They started out the season 4-2. Their 2 losses back-to-back in 2 very good teams. Marion Local beat them 3-0. New Bremen beat them 3-0. So it is obviously redemption time for the Tigers. You see the black jerseys, and they are ready to go. It is a big floor here, and it's kind of akin to, you get to this regional not that far from where the state tournament takes place in Dayton, and you want to try to not let the size of the floor get to you. And these are programs that have been in this environment the last handful of years, and they have taken on each other in the regional level now for 3 straight years. Left to right will come the service here in the first. New Bremen trying to work quickly, and they do with the first point up off the hands of the returner for Jackson Center. So the first point goes for New Bremen and the D4 Coach of the Year in Diana Kramer. Bremen will go back to serve. As a team, nearly 100 aces this season, and it makes them a very dangerous team, especially again here with a big floor. Ball set up on the attack, out of the front line, up and over the block. No panic there from Blake Snyder, the libero. Return right back. Jackson Center has to dive to dig one out off the inside, just inside the double block. New Bremen's so good, able to put that back in play, but the mistake on the hit makes it a 1-1 first set. So Jackson Center, again, they've been here. Look at what they've done. A lot of these young ladies around as younger players during the 2 state championships in 15 and 16. Ball return long, and just a quick return for Snyder. Bumped out of the middle row, now right back into the net, and the 2 points that have gone against New Bremen. This one was Taylor Paul, the junior. Doesn't make a ton of mistakes on her swings, but this time around hits it right into the net. And the Cardinals now trail 2-1. Jackson Center with that double block attempt inside, but New Bremen able to hit one cross court to tie this first set at 2-2. So 2 ties in the first 4 points. Kind of what you would expect in a regional final. Bremen now will go the length of the floor on the serve, which is dug out by the Tigers. Bumped back up and set into the net, and a big spike just on that running leaner. There's not going to be a lot of times you're going to be able to get in front of that. And it's now 3-2 in favor of New Bremen. Cardinals with a long running jump serve, just nearly picked up an ace. Just inside, pinned off the double block and down to the floor. Just in front of the dive of Macy Putoff. So the first 6 points come with 3 ties. High serve for Jackson Center now from left to right. Up in and right past. There you go, I talked about the big floor. Finding the back line for the point is New Bremen. And there is a terrific crowd here inside Northmont High School. They call it the Thunderdome for a reason, because if you've ever been here, doesn't matter what sport it is, this place is rocking when it gets going, and a lot of people occupying this building. Ball came off the hands of Raquel Kessler just awkwardly and into the 3rd row. So New Bremen the first to put up back-to-back points and break the every other streak. And the ball misses long. So 3 of the 4 points that the Tigers have put up have been directly resulted by errors on the Bremen side. 2 into the net, and now the miss on the serve. Talked about the return game for Jackson Center. Now in play just inside. The worst part about being double blocked, if you're Kessler, it hits you right in the face. The senior headed to play college volleyball. She will go to the University. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. The Shelby County Player of the Year verbal to the University of Missouri at St. Louis. Didn't want to get that wrong because she worked so hard to get there. Another mistake, this one Josie Reinhardt. So the First National Bank scoreboard says 6-5 in favor of the Cardinals. Ball set off the middle row, and a good attack across by Reinhardt again, but returned for Jackson Center. Now it's their own error that gives the Cardinals a point. 7-5 New Bremen. You know these girls get a long running start when they disappear from the edge of our picture. Ball right back down the middle and off of the anticipated returner. Now 8-5. You feel the Bremen start to pick up some steam here. 3 ties in the first 6 points. They have taken 5 of the last 8. And another rocket right back down the middle. Can't be returned. You could see Deja Wells, the sophomore, try to put her hands up. She was kind of standing out in no man's land, and it's 9-5 in favor of New Bremen. See Coach Kramer there in the white shirt on the way. She'll walk a long path before this one is done. Always very animated. You see her jumping up and down now as her team comes up with another point. That ball hit nearly into the stands. And it is now 4 straight points and a 10-5 lead for New Bremen. Cardinals have got to feel pretty good about their start so far. Ball hit up off the tape, right back into the net and dinked across. But another point the other way, as that one was Caroline Frieders. Had the right idea. I think it probably just didn't end how she'd anticipated. See the New Bremen student section over there in the whites rolling deep all the way up inside the Thunderdome. Just inside, past the double block, and down for a point comes Sarah Clark, the freshman. And it's now 11-6. Just take a look at the scoreboard. See, I said it was 11-6. It is New Bremen with the lead. Jackson Center with the side out. Let's get the difference in the left-handed serve. Return from the inside and sent right back across. Caitlin Sosby, she knew when she hit that on the return that it wasn't going to go anywhere near being in bounds. 12-6, New Bremen now. Get the change of players for New Bremen and Ashton Heitkamp. Just that quick spin of the ball and a knuckleball up on the serve, set across for Frieders, and somehow kept alive on that play. Blake Snyder will key it in motion for New Bremen. That ball hung up for quite a while as Frieders has her shot immediately returned, and a terrific save again for the Cardinals. Macy Putoff, not to surprise anybody. First team All-Ohio for a reason. And initially, New Bremen jumping up and down like they thought they won that point. It ends up going for the Tigers off that tip. That's that big swing of momentum. Now at 12-7. New Bremen with the lead. That is the second point they've lost in the last 8. Like I said, they pulled off 5 out of 8 at one point to take a commanding lead. Now trying to hold on to that as off the tip on the block, off of Katie Clark's hands for Jackson Center. The lead up to 13-7. And you're in a kind of an interesting position if you're Jackson Center because you've got your timeouts, but at what point do you try not to have this stop here in the first set? So anticipatory hit there for Frieders. Put back in play and fought off on the opposite side by Frieders again out of the back row. And a big wind-up in the smash for Rachel Kramer. 170 kills coming in. She's got one here, and it's 14-7 in favor of the Cardinals as we take a timeout here at Northmont High School on NKTelco Sports.
Our 1,500 square foot showroom and pro shop at bowlerstore.com is stocked with bowling balls, bags, shoes, accessories, and apparel. The pro shop is equipped with 2 drill presses, measuring devices, and bowling ball maintenance machines to keep your ball rolling great. We offer private lessons for individuals and groups. Moxie's Extra Pair inside bowlerstore.com is also available to rent for private events. Be sure to check out bowlerstore.com or visit our pro shop in Versailles, Ohio for all your bowling product needs.
First National Bank scoreboard says Cardinals 14, Tigers 7 in the first set of the best of 5. Regional finals action between 24-3 Jackson Center, 11-1 in the Shelby County League. 22-4 New Bremen, 6-3 out of the Midwest Athletic Conference. 16 straight wins for Jackson Center. Their only loss in that span, their only conference loss, way back in September. 3-2 to Russia, a team that was just eliminated recently. And up and down on the point, a fired up Elizabeth Hickey, picks up the point and stops the run. So I said, at what point do you call that timeout to try to break the streak? The 14-7 differential feels like last Friday night with high school football. But just a chance to talk to your girls, maybe calm them down a little bit. The return into the stands, just a rifle from Josie Reinhardt. Point 15 for New Bremen. And a fancy piece of dribbling. It's not supposed to happen for a couple of weeks. Ball punched across in the illegal sort of way. Just didn't work that Frieders, she had kind of the right look on it. Not allowed to do that. Usually there's a "you can't do that" chant that breaks out right after. Ball zipped across and dug out by Ava Winter. New Bremen doesn't panic. They bring their hitters from everywhere. This time around from the left side of the net. Set back across for Frieders and return up off the slam from Kessler. Right back again, no panic. This one is Katie Clark who puts it in play. And right back off the left hand of Frieders. Clark helps out. The rotation for the Cardinals is lethal. Any ball on the back line, you get a look at our Winners Quality Meets replay. That ball hit just inside the left of that line. 17-8 New Bremen. And into the net. That is 5 points here in this first set of the 8 for the Tigers that have come as a result of a mistake. 9 points that have come as a mistake for New Bremen. And that was the thing. Play within themselves. That's what every coach will tell you. Just run your own system and let things work themselves out. Ball set high inside, over the double block, and again on that line. And New Bremen is hype on the bench. They make their substitutions, leading 18-9. I always like the idea of putting a camera directly on the line. It would have hit the camera if you're trying to do that. That is how good that these girls have been with putting that inside. And now into the net will go New Bremen. So it'll be a point for Jackson Center. Lead cut to 18-10. It was 3-3 as the third tie. Tied at 1, tied at 2, tied at 3. Bremen with a nice dig here. Fought back off the other way, but that ball tailed just inside where it was going to be an awkward play for the Tigers to get to it. The wind up and the miss. That's the first time that New Bremen has tried to go to that corner. It hasn't worked out. Consecutive points Pull Jackson Center within 18-11. Ball passed out of the back row now, past the double blockers, and into the scorer's table. I don't believe Carolyn Frieders wants to say hi to those guys. They're nice people. She just doesn't want to talk to them right now. 19-11. Now New Bremen. After, it's just how hard they hit these balls on both sides. You get one chance as the block at the net. And point 20 for the Cardinals. They try to become the team to pick up that all-important first set. Ball up off the tape, nearly pulled down for the ace for the second time. Cross-court shot. Nice piece of work for Raquel Kessler. And you see why. Heading out to play D1. Now 20-11. I had it as 20-12. I guess I'm wrong. It happens. Ball into the net. And it is Ashley Mullenauer not able to get it over. Now the scoreboard says 21-12. I think somebody was a little bit behind on the buttons. So New Bremen with a 21-12 lead. Both here on the First National Bank scoreboard and up on the Giants scoreboard. Trust me, I can see it. The ball was just smoked off the entry and up and down for the kill. No way that Kessler was going to be able to keep it in play. It's 22-12. So there's a timeout at 14-7 for Jackson Center. You get a couple of timeouts in each set. Ball rifled right back down the middle. Beautiful set by Frieders. Just kind of tailed back for Kessler out of the middle row. And the attempt to go high for Macy Putoff and just slap one across into the net again. Third time that has happened to New Bremen. Ball popped over into the middle row. Not very many times you get to see that. And the double hit against New Bremen will make it a 22-14 advantage. So they give away back-to-back points. Ball lofted over. Now up into the front row and a huge smash. Right back down the middle by Macy Putoff. Let's take a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay. Watch this, just beautiful set. And then through the middle and down in front of Mullenauer for point 23. Ball out of the back row for Frieders. Reset on the opposite side by Blake Snyder, the libero. And again, these are not balls that are just being politely touched across. Caitlin Sosby had one opportunity to dive to the floor to get to that. The ball went in front of her, and it's 24-14 here in set one. Cardinals looking to close it out in their attempted march back to Dayton. And two balls that I guarantee the girls are going to laugh about. I see the smiles on their face right now. Neither one went where they had intended. Now 24-15. The Tigers hanging here in set one. And now they're done. Just another well-placed ball. Three of those. One down the line in the backside, two on the corner in set one. As you get a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay. That was one. We're going to let that go and see what happens. We're back for set number two here in a moment on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
There you see on the scoreboard, 25-15 in favor of New Bremen in set number 1. Bremen comes in this year 63-19 in terms of sets won and lost. 4th straight year they've taken on Jackson Center in this tournament. Last 2, 3-0 for New Bremen. Back in 2016, it was Jackson Center who went 3-0 en route to a state championship for the 2nd straight year. New Bremen, an ace to open. I guess if you've made your mark in set number 1, an ace is the best way to go in set 2. That was one of the key pizza keys of the game I talked about for Jackson Center, about the return game and about how they need to be good. Megan Argerbright into the lineup for the first time. Passes one across. New Bremen, 3 players set and ready for it. And a ball hit long on the opposite side. We're back to 1-1 as we were in set 1. 3 ties through the first 6 points in set 1, and then New Bremen took over. They started figuring out how to put up 2 or 3 points at a time and rolled a lead out to 14-7 and ultimately picked up set 1, 25-15. Jackson Center trying to get the lead here, and they do. As Macy Putoff not able to get one over, just a junior, first team All-Ohio this year. So 2-1 Jackson Center, again, as it was in set 1. Everything pretty much going the exact same way so far. Big hit. You could hear it all the way up here inside the Thunderdome. On the return from the right hand for Kessler. Return back to her. Fought off up over the head. And a terrific dive by Blake Snyder. This is a well-contested point. Jackson Center will get this point to go up 3-1. And you can see in the bottom half of your screen, Coach Kim Metz, she ran out and tried to make sure her team was going to get that point. High set back across, and just that quickly off of Sarah Clark, the freshman. Watch how this ball is zipped right on top of her. Terrific set and execution for the Cardinals. So they get within 3-2. Talk about this senior class for the Tigers, as we're now tied at 3-3. Coach Metz, with a battle with breast cancer this year, has really rallied around her senior class, said this has been a big thing. They have been a big part to help me out. We didn't get a lot accomplished in our practice before this game, but we feel good coming into this game. Tied at 3 here in set 2. And the big right hand fought off by Blake Snyder on the floor. One official says yes, that was in. Judge for yourself here on the Winners Quality Beats replay. This is another just wind up and a blast off the shiny floor here at Northmont High School. So 4-3 for the Cardinals. Visitors on the scoreboard. Now 4-4. That is, I'm sure, one thing that Coach Kramer will talk about is self-inflicted errors in this game and in this match. But Coach Metz, I love the interview that she gave in a couple of the newspapers. My buddy Brian Billing in the City Daily News. She said, I don't wish this disease on anybody. We've fought through so much this season. It's a stupid disease that we need to find a cure for. But these girls have been my rocks the entire season. And they've gotten to this point by going 24-3. But trailing right now at 1-0 and down 5-4 in the second set. It's a New Bremen team, kind of a different team, fighting through some adversity after losing the best player in the state of Ohio last season. Now back-to-back points for the Cardinals, leading 6-4. This is what they did in set 1. And what, to be honest with you, I've seen them do in person a couple of times this year. They just kind of build, and all of a sudden you find yourself down 5 or 6 points. It's 3 straight after the ace, and a lead up to 7-4. Volleyball's going to have a lot less air in it. Being dribbled up off the floor. Beautiful set, nearly for the point, run by Jackson Center. Up off the inside, the 2 hands and the double block Back in play, the long set. Back across again. And ultimately, another double hit. So the lead is run up to 8-4. Long running jump serve here for New Bremen. So they lead 8-4. Push back across, up over the head, but just inside the line. So now 8-5 is the lead on the board. Coach Metz just making a couple of substitutions, bringing out Megan Argerbright. Went right back to her and explained why she took her out of the back row. That one put right on top of Caitlin Sosby again, who has had that happen a couple of times to her now as Kessler up off the block. See if they set back across for her. Nope, inside the middle, just enough on it. Probably not one Deja Wells will want to put on her highlight reel, but she did a terrific job. Watch, she just takes a little bit off of it on her way, and it leads 2 consecutive points to pull Jackson Center within 8-6. Ball set high across the outside, down to the floor to dive it off are the Tigers. Able to dig out another one. It's up over the head. Kessler puts it in play. 2-hand push and another block. Now the double hit onto the Tigers. So there have been 3 of those already in this set between these two teams. Just one in the last set. Very well played game in terms of that. Just one time that each team got caught with 4 hits. And down to the floor, another ace. That is now 3 or 4 for the Cardinals as they improve their lead to 10-6. Winner of this game will play Monroeville in the state semifinals. And wow, that ball was kicked across. You see that? Hardly ever that works out. Still in play in the point for a jubilant Cardinals set. And Coach Metz herself is even asking, is that legal? This is a just terrific play. Look at that. That may be the best winners quality meets replay we've ever done. A kick save and a beauty. Never thought I'd get to use that with volleyball. It's now 11-6 in favor of the Cardinals. Wow. And the fact that they won the point, that's the biggest part, because now you build that momentum, and Claire Pape, the sophomore, goes cross court for the winner to run the lead up to 12-6. I wrote that point down and put 3 stars next to it. Put that one on your highlight show. Ball just inside the back line. Awkward that Blake Snyder wanted to let it go. Now 12-6, you can see just inside. Now at 12-7. They're Bremen with the lead after the side out. Jackson Center up at the net. And Pape now has picked up 2 straight points for her team. And she did a little dance too. 13-7. New Bremen as they continue to try to climb towards a 2-set lead. Tell you what, folks, they get to 2 sets, they're scary. Even down 2 sets, like I said against St. Henry, they were able to battle back. And Jackson Center now kind of playing 1 or 2 steps behind them, whereas they're so used to being able to play from in front of their opponents, just having to be more reactionary. Bremen's got a host of aces. And here's another just dropped in front of Sosby. And a timeout at 15-7. We're back here in set 2 after this here on NKTelco Sports.
Here's the thing. If you're the kind of guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes farming, who gets up at dawn, determined to get the best crop and the best yield, why surrender to the mercy of the water table? Cy Schwiederman Incorporated can lower your water table to an average of 2 to 3 feet below the surface, allowing you to grow stronger, healthier plants that root deeper, that are more resilient to the elements, that enable longer growing seasons, and can produce higher results in the fields and in your pocket. Trust CSI, your drainage experts since 1946.
Still trying to figure out how during the break that kickball actually went across. It's got to be one of the craziest things I've seen in person. I've seen some terrific plays this year, some high-quality volleyball, but man, that one might be my pick for point of the year, just based on the fact that after it happened, everybody didn't just celebrate. They went right back to work and ended up picking up the point, as the Tigers do here with a big slam from Sarah Clark coming out of the timeout. Sometimes all you need is an opportunity to talk to your troops. Watch Clark. She comes from way back there, puts it across really 4 different players. Took up the lead at 15-8. Ball up at the net. Nobody in the gym put their phones on silent. And a point for Jackson Center. Excuse me, as New Bremen. The point for Jackson Center previous on that slam you saw on the replay, but then this one here for New Bremen. Ball sent way back into the air. 3 players up on top of it. That was an interesting shift because Liz Hickey could not really get to it. That ball just kind of hung up. New Bremen with a 9-point lead here in set 2. That ball just sailed. Smart play by Kessler, and Sosby kind of looked at each other and said, just please let that go. 17-9. Tigers trying to figure out what they can do to get back in, get to even or get ahead here in this set. Able to dig one out. Didn't like where that one came out. Kessler just kind of looked down at her hands. Either that stung or she didn't like where it ended up. She'll like this one. Right back down is Hickey for the point. Another set back across for her. She took a mighty swing just in front of Blake Snyder. 17-10. Ball right back in the middle of the net, and there are a ton of points on each side where balls are defying physics in terms of being able to just slap it across. Katie Clark will get the point here. Her team fired up as they pull now within 6. Jackson Center with the serve. Fastball right back down the middle. Cardinals able to dig it out, work from the corner for another point. As Claire Pape in this set has gotten 3 of those in nearly the same spot. Watch it back set across for her through 4 hands and down for the point for an 18-11 lead. Bumped out of the back row, now set and fired down by Hickey. So the point on the side out for the Tigers with an 18-12. They've been flirting with 6 points, getting down underneath that total. Long set across. Kept in play off the double block. Just inside on the jump, Katie Clark. Bremen a little confused. 3 players looking at it, and ultimately right back down the middle. That's one way to make them not have an opportunity. Just come up and hit it as hard as you can as you get a look at this replay. That ball was smoked. Pape put her hands up. It was already long past her. 18-13 now. Cardinals leading 1-0. A redirected ball for the point. They don't have to be pretty. They just have to be effective. So that lead back to 6. First time that Jackson Center cut it lower than that total in quite some time. Really, since it was 12-7. Into the chair, just inside of where that would have been a violation. Tigers have done a terrific job fighting off 3 different end of points here. On the long set, off the hands again, and just because that one was off of Katie Clark's hands, it didn't give her team a chance to really be able to play it high and down through the dive in front of Kessler. So the first team to 20, the same team as in set 1, New Bremen. And the first team to 21 too, as the ball tipped into the crowd. And you get a feel in the student section, who have been a little bit quieter than they normally are going to erupt here in a second, maybe during this timeout. 21-13, New Bremen with the lead here on NKTelco Sports.
Take your game day party to the next level with a new TV and Sonos sound system from Fowler's TV in St. Mary's. A Sonos sound system takes all the action into every room of your home and outdoors. Break your home into zones and control the content and level right from your phone or tablet, enabling you to enjoy the game or not with the touch of a finger. Add a security camera system connected to your TV from Fowler's and never leave another friend stuck outside in the cold. Fowler's TV, taking game day to the next level.
First National Make scoreboard says Cardinals 21, Tigers 13 here in set 2 at Northmont High School. Winner goes to the state semifinals on Thursday at 2 p.m. You look at the way that bracket is drawn out on the other side. 3 terrific teams possibly waiting in the balance as the double hit against the Tigers gives the Cardinals point 22. You've got 24-3 Monroeville waiting for the winner of this one. They just finished up their matchup a couple of minutes ago. As now the ball hit long again on the return, and the momentum towards that 2-set win is building for New Bremen. Other side of the bracket, you've got Portsmouth Clay, who beat Portsmouth Notre Dame in a game that took place in Lancaster, not Portsmouth, in the regionals a couple of days ago. And then you've also got Tiffin Calvert as the block in point 24 for the Cardinals. Just off the double block and redirected off of Kessler's hands. 24-13 at New Bremen. They are cruising right now, looking for the final point. And despite the hustle and the effort, there it is. Terrific play by the Tigers, just had the ball bounce the wrong way. We're back for set 3, coming up here in just a few on NKTelco Sports.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Automotive Outfitters, your truck accessory headquarters.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
At Minster Bank, we understand that life can get hectic. That's why when it comes to your banking, we offer the services that make your life simpler with tools like person-to-person payments, Pop Money, mobile and online banking, and bill pay. But most of all, Minster Bank is a supportive member of your community with personal relationships and customer service that reach outside of our branches. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
There you see the scores from the first two sets, 25-15, 25-13, as we begin set number 3. And the Bremen Cardinals now one set away from a date in the state semifinals next Thursday. Up off the block. Bremen with the high ball sent back up into the stratosphere here at the Thunderdome. Blake Snyder able to return it with the block of the net. Comes down on New Bremen's side. So the first point of the third set goes for the Tigers of Jackson Center. Trying to pick up another. Here's New Bremen. Runs their set off to the net, just inside, off to the right side. And again, back towards Blake Snyder. Set from the right side, and the hammer able to be returned, but I believe that's going to be a carry on the double hit. We're now tied at 1 here in set 3. All 3 sets, as weird as this is, have been tied at 1-1. First set went all the way out to 3-3. Second set was tied at 4-4. So the Cardinals kind of imposed their will, but right now, cross court is the way of the day for Jackson Center. They lead at 2-1. Drew everybody into their right side. Then as they blast back to the left. Cardinals will set in front of the net, dinked across, and return nearly. Not return. Taylor Paul able to get back to it. Bumped into the air. Set across, and Bremen didn't panic. They'll go again from the right side, and if cross court works for one, it'll work for the other. 2-2 is Bremen with the big smash, and on the rotation, out goes the senior libero in Blake Snyder. Big dribble and the serve right into the nets for the point. Again, I guarantee you, if you ask Coach Kramer about this game and about this match, that'll be one thing that she'll talk about, is about the self-inflicted errors, because there have been a ton of those, probably way too many to her liking. It's a terrific play to keep it in play for Blake Snyder with the Superman dive. And return long. Kessler could not find an opening on this floor. It is 3-3. So starting out just like set number 1. Tied at 1s, 2s, and 3s. It's the entire town of New Bremen on the opposite side in the crowd. Off the tip. Couldn't see which way that went initially, but it'll go for Jackson Center. They lead. They are the Bolts here on the scoreboard as the home team. So they take their first lead through 7 points, but just that quickly, right up on top, Josie Reinhardt with a blast. And we're tied at 4s. It's what you want to do if you're Jackson Center. Come out, down just to a point at times, but they've gotten within 5 in the last set. Couldn't get any closer. But what they wanted to do, not give up, continue to fight. After all, these couple of these girls, the seniors, have been a part of these state championships in 15 and 16. The defending state champs in New Bremen from last year, so the last 3 state champs represented here as the winners quality meets replay. Watch how high this ball is. Off the double block and in for the point for New Bremen. They now lead 5-4. Into the net, make it 6-4. Key to the game for Jackson Center was their return game. They've enjoyed it at times. This time around, not so much. And a ball served long. So now the point makes it 6-5. So Jackson Center hanging in there in this set. Again, they've led for a good portion of it. Dinked across, fought off by Carolyn Frieders. That's a terrific play. Make everybody think, and myself included, that this was going to be a set for a slam, and New Bremen sold it hardcore. Just that no-look pass across for the point, and it's 7-5 New Bremen. It's a terrifically executed play. Get a lot of young ladies that have played together for quite some time, and you're able to do things like that, but back-to-back points now for the Tigers have come off service errors for New Bremen. Caitlin Sosby, the lefty, with the ball into the back right corner. Anticipatory jump there for New Bremen. They're able to get back to it. Double block, but returned. Great job by the Tigers to keep it in play. And dinked back across and ultimately down to the floor. Staying with it is Taylor Paul. Watch the effort on this replay. There are 2 times where that ball should have been stopped before then, but New Bremen hangs with it and increases their lead to 2 at 8-6. Largest lead that they have had in this set has been 2 on 2 occasions, and it's going to have to stay that way because the ball ripped right back inside the line for Jackson Center, trims the lead to 1. Big right hand into the net from Frieders for the New Bremen point. Now 9-7 Cardinals. You see the jump around from the student section. And they are pretty much all I can hear in my headset right now. They are that loud here inside the aptly named Thunderdome. And they'll be probably a little bit quieter after that. Great play on the cross-court smash for Jackson Center. Set just inside. And that is Sarah Clark again. She's had herself a good match. She's picked up a handful of points that exact same way. You go cross court, makes it seem a little bit longer. As the apex of that jump didn't work out, New Bremen thought they were going to be able to keep it in play. But on the double hit, the point goes to Jackson Center. And this is the longest during a point or during a set that they have been tied out at 9. Back inside, and forget the tie. Taylor Paul took care of that. 10-9 New Bremen. She just put a hurt on that volleyball. You might want to check, see what the PSI is on it. Not saying anybody deflated it, but she did. And right on cue, Taylor Paul goes back to serve. Big right hand from her, nearly ripped the ace again. Sosby able to get to it. Down to the dive, and the point goes the other way. So Jackson Center hanging in there now as you get a look at how they did it. That ball nearly, Caroline Frieders nearly got taken out. And she was able to save it. Sometimes it just works out. Beautifully run set again for New Bremen. Watch how quickly they put this ball, and then here comes the attack. And there it goes. 11-10 New Bremen. Third set, they lead 2-0. 14 points away from a date in the state semifinals. Tigers trying to stop that. A ball pitched long and out of bounds. Consecutive points for Bremen now as they go for the third time of trying to take a 3-point lead. They've not been able to do it here in set 3 so far. Ball set into the front row. Argebright misses long, and there's the 3-point advantage at 13-10, and then that's the timeout. We're back after this here on NKTelco Sports.
At CAPT, we use hometown opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
13-10 on the First National Bank scoreboard in favor of New Bremen. 22-4 on the year. Jackson Center at 24-3. They've won 16 straight. They're 7-1 away from their house, 5-0 on a neutral floor. Setting the keys to the game. They had to figure out where the hitters were going to come from for New Bremen. At times, they've been able to do it and have been able to put up a double block. But at other times, they've not been able to. As the ball up off the hands of Sarah Clark, who's had a good match herself. Gives New Bremen their first 4-point lead in this set at 14-10. Tigers trail by 4. Now trying to change that. Set just inside the net, and everything was played so close off that set. Just watch how close this is played to the net. Really, New Bremen with the 3 blockers, and then everybody drawn in. You just put it in the back corner, and that is Kessler. She's good. She's headed to play D1 volleyball. 14-11. Make it 15-11. That is just brute force. It's not really a way to describe that and make it pretty. So 1 point in the last 6 for Jackson Center, but they trail 15-11. Ball down off the dive for Sosby. Keeps it in play, right back to her, didn't panic. Took the long hit from Josie Reinhart. Ball kept in play. Nearly sent halfway to Dayton in the air. And just inside the back corner for a JC point. So now 15-12. Still got an opportunity. Again, keep in mind, it's going to take a big effort on the part of Jackson Center. But winning 3 sets is not necessarily out of their own possibility. Very good, and at one point, number 1 ranked St. Henry team had it happen to them against this New Bremen squad. And that was in the sectionals. Ball misses long, and the Cardinals up their lead to 4 at 16-12. Couple of pats of the volleyball and right back into the net. It seems like, for whatever reason, from my vantage point, the longer you take ingratiating yourself with the volleyball, the more it wants to just go straight into the net. And I also think that these girls have taken a lot of air out of those balls with as hard as they hit them. Just inside, off the right hand of Frieders and down for a point for New Bremen. Bremen with the set inside, and they tried the double block, but Hickey and Frieders have it fall to the floor. So they now trail by 4. Up on the row with that big right-hand swing is Hickey. Punched back across as the dive puts it into the net, and it's sent over by Sarah Clark. High set, didn't go where I thought it was going to, and it ultimately misses off to the left side. That's the one that the ball is in the air and the floor shrinks. 17-14, New Bremen with the lead, but the side out gives the Tigers an opportunity to continue to try to pull even. Long set just inside the pin on the left side. Back in play, but that, I think maybe Sarah Clark was going for that cut shot. She had it work a couple of times earlier, but as it came awkwardly off of her hands, it just kind of falls flatly to the floor. She tried to spin it. She saw that the block was coming her way. Tried to go the opposite way. Now 18-14 Cardinals inside the block and dug out by Macy Putoff. Putoff will set it back up again and digged over by Rachel Kramer down for the New Bremen point. They are at 18-15. Watch as she comes, 19-14. Watch as she comes up to the net. 4 players. They call it a campfire. Everybody stood there looking at it. Blocked by New Bremen, kept in play. Great piece of defensive work for the Tigers. But ultimately, if you draw everybody to the net against New Bremen, they're going to figure out a way to send it long. It's now 20-14. Cardinals can start to sense it, 5 points away from Dayton. Which really, from where we are, they have to pass it on the way home. They'll get a good look at it if they can get there on Thursday. There's another error into the net on the return. Trims their lead at 20-15. Tigers not going away. Jackson Center in front of this huge crowd, trying to feed off this energy to get back at least close to even. Not rushing here on this set. And a ball zipped off of Macy Putoff and into the crowd. It's 20-16. It's now the Tigers crowd here on the near side. They've not had a ton to cheer about. Trying to get their girls some extra energy. Ball at the net, high pointed. Dug out with a left hand by Katie Clark. Clark had to go to the floor, but was able to save this point. See if it turns out to be fruitful. Yes, it will. It's now a 3-point game. Don't look now. With the Tigers in the rearview mirror. And just the double block dropped inside the Northmont logo. The Thunderbolts and the Thunderdome. That's where they get it from. Now back to the middle. New Bremen doesn't panic on the defensive end. Jackson Center able to run out and dig one out. Off the hands of the dive and Blake Snyder. She made a nice attempt to get to it, but on the timeout, it's 20-18. New Bremen with the lead here in set 3 on NKTelco Sports.
Trust us. NKTelco, a small-town company with a big focus on customer service. We build business the old-fashioned way.
Trust us to be your internet provider.
Trust us to help you find the right cable package for your viewing needs.
Trust us to answer your questions any time of the day.
Trust NKTelco to be on call. Deliver and make sure your service is tailored to meet your needs.
We serve commercial and residential customers to meet their communication needs. Trust us at NKTelco.
Trust us!
First National Bank scoreboard, 20-18. New Bremen with the lead. 5 points for them, and it's over. If the Tigers are able to come back in this set, we'll go to 4. You see the 2-0 lead on the bottom corner. Terrific crowd here on hand. So the Tigers continuing to serve. They've picked up the last 3 points that way. Nice dig on the near side. Clark at the net. I'm surprised they didn't get her for how far underneath she was. She was halfway back to New Bremen, but it's the Cardinals who get the last laugh on the point. Let's take a look at the Winners Quality Meets replay. Bang. Not fancy, but effective. 21-18 New Bremen. Long running serve dug out by Sosby. Set at the net, dinked across, and fought off into the air for New Bremen for Heitkamp. Down to the floor, Clark hustles over, keeps it in play. But on the dive, the ball ends up into the stands, and it's 22-18. Bremen with the serve just over the top of the net. Kind of question if in the air if that was going to have enough to get over. Cardinals have to scurry here It is now Jackson Center who can take their time off their set piece. Pushed back across. Terrific play by Kessler. Sometimes she'll come up to the net as you see the replay and go with a big slam. This time around just takes off it, pushes it across. It's all about angles. Wasn't very good with geometry. These girls are. Now with the block. Back-to-back points for the Tigers. And they're within 2. This is the loudest their fans have been in quite some time. And now the loudest New Bremen has been in quite some time. As the student section, it's jump around time. They can feel that state berth. Up 23-20. Couple of rotations. One brings back in Blake Snyder for New Bremen. The terrific senior libero. Just inside the back row, nearly back to her. Blocked at the net. Kept in play by Daisha Wells. Wells back to the right side. Sent back over by Reinhardt. And into the stands. It's 24-20 and it's match point. Look at the replay. All hustle. But nearly a lot of nervous people in those chairs. See, hustle means watch out. Set for the Tigers and down for the point to keep them alive. So just that apex jump and the swing. It's 24-21. So the Tigers have got to pick up 4 before the Cardinals pick up 1. Bumped across, and on the runner is Reinhardt. Set back across, nearly back to her, and again, another ball perfectly placed down the line. We've had that all afternoon. And that is over the head of 4 different players. And down just in front for a point at 24-22. Cardinals with the attack. And they're going to Dayton. A 3-0 win over Jackson Center's second victory over the Tigers this season. Take a break and we're back here inside the Thunderdome on NKTelco Sports.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
There you see the scores, 25-15, 25-13, 25-22 for the Northmont Regional Champion New Bremen Cardinals. A well-deserved round of applause from the Tiger fans. They'll lose 4 terrific seniors for this program. And Raquel Kessler, Caitlin Sosby, Riley Jackson, and Caroline Frieders.
Fans, what a great run. One that should be extremely proud of. I know today didn't end how you planned, but as you look back on the journey that you guys made together, I think it's one that we can all be extremely proud of and all draw inspiration from. So coaches and team, congratulations. Outstanding season.
Those young ladies leave with a 24-4 record this season, 11-1 in the Shelby County Athletic League, and 2 state championships. In a second, you'll hear about the regional champion, the Bremen Cardinals, 23-4. They have a date on Thursday in Dayton at the Nutter Center. They will play looking to get into their second straight state championship.
To the new Bremen Cardinals, who will now advance to the state semifinals.
And they will take on 24-3 Monroeville on Thursday at 2 p.m.
On November 8th at 2 p.m. Would the seniors for the new Bremen please come forward as we recognize you as the 2018 regional champion?
You'll see them here in a second. Nobody with a bigger smile on her face than Blake Snyder. Blake Snyder, Abby Tiemann, Madison Pape, and Rachel Kramer.
Your backs against the wall several times. The way you ended the regular season, down 2-0 against St. Henry, and you just keep battling. So congratulations. Keep it going next week. And Cardinal Nation will be there to support. Students, you have off on Thursday, so be there.
There are probably not 15 girls happier than those 15 girls right now, headed back to the state semifinals on Thursday afternoon. And there's going to be nobody left in the town of Bremen on Thursday afternoon. Everybody be in Dayton. Back to wrap things up here from the Thunderdome when we come back on NKTelco Sports.
NKTelco Sports. More than 140 local high school and college games. Football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and soccer. Support your local team with NKTelco Sports and promote your business to 250,000 households in Northwest Ohio. Call 1-888-NKTelco and get in the game.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Minster Dental Care continues to offer advanced dental technology in a state-of-the-art facility. Our professional team offers experience in general dentistry and orthodontics, including services such as CERA and wireline orthodontics. Board-certified pediatric dentist Dr. Philip Slonkowski ensures our littlest patients have a positive, safe, and a comfortable experience. We are unconditionally committed to excellence in everything we do.
Back inside the Thunderdome, New Bremen with a 3-0 win. In the regional finals, will advance to play in the state semis against Monroeville on Thursday at 2 p.m. at the Nutter Center. As you take a look at our game replays brought to you by Winners Meats. Don't forget, you can also watch these games on demand on the NKTelco Sports Facebook page, nktelco.net. Big thanks to all our sponsors for helping us bring this game in precision strip. Also, NKT.TV. BowlerStore.com, where you can find the pocket without emptying yours. Carriage Works, specializing in collision repair in St. Henry. Cy Schwieterman. Fowler's TV, where they service what they sell. Kogi Plumbing and Heating, a name you know, a name you trust. PSG Automotive Outfitters, along with the Minster Bank, providing financial solutions for a lifetime. Hometown Opportunity, where they connect local companies with local talent. Schwieterman Pharmacy, with pharmacies located in Salina, Coldwater, Minster, New Bremen, St. Mary's in Wapakoneta, also New Knoxville Supply, Minster Dental Care, Francis Furniture, and Wilson Health, where they provide caring without limits. Keyhole Pizza brought our keys to the game, along with our Winners Quality Meats replays, quality meats for 90 years. And our First National Bank scoreboard, where they remind you to think first. Our NKTelco player of the game for tonight I talked about the serving for New Bremen. They have 11 aces as a team. 3 of them come from Macy Putoff, a terrific game for the junior, who will be playing in her second straight trip to Dayton. A big thanks to the crew as well, and our director, Scott Robinson, our cameraman, and LJ Jellison. My name is Mike Kern. Have a great night and an email tomorrow from all of us here at NKTelco Sports.